Well, you heard from Mr. Vernal Sachet. Good over evil will always prevail. Help him to make it safe. Welcome to the Caribbean Connection. I'm Garfield Reid on WAVS Radio. As you say, your source for Caribbean news, views, and interviews and stories that matter. 1 hour of information that you need to know starting now. It's now 6:08 in the studios of WAVS. It's 75 degrees on the outside, and I must tell you, it's a beautiful Tuesday evening on the outside, coming from the studios of WAVS right here in Davie, Florida. And we have a light show today. We're going to play some music. We're going to drop some gems about mortgages. We're going to talk about the Smiley's Voice Foundation. And I see a lot of things going on in Jamaica 6 months after Hurricane Melissa devastated Jamaica, especially the western side of Jamaica. I see the opposition party held a press conference today and is giving out warning that the people out there are still missing their roof and they have to travel distance to receive. But I will tell you, let's patience prevail, because at the end of the day, we all need help. And whenever an hurricane hit, and I can talk about for an hurricane, when I talk about hurricane preparedness and recovery, I am familiar with how FEMA works here in the United States. And I can tell you, when an hurricane hit here, yes, the government may be out in their numbers, but it can take months for recovery. So ease up a little bit on the government of Jamaica, let them put out some money. But again, the opposition party, the opposition government in Jamaica needs to keep the government accountable, but we must also exercise patience. And a lot of people isn't about to get their roof repair and things need to be done. But at the end of the day, people are still in shelter, and I see where the government says May the 8th, they will be closing all the shelters in Jamaica and putting people back in their respective community, providing rental assistance for them. So that's a good look. But again, the opposition party is still keeping the pressure on the government. But I tell you, coming up at 6:30, we will be talking to Coral Hilton from the Smiley's Voice Foundation. She will be giving us a 15-minute chat. We will talk more about that and tell you what new things has been added to the event, which is coming up on May the 16th, the 12th annual health fair, the Strokes Awareness and Prevention, which is the Smiley's Voice. And I know, and this is being held in the city of Tamarack under Maury Wright, City Commissioner, and of course Coral Hilton. I know who Coral Hilton is. She's one of the principal of the Smiley's Voice Foundation. We had her here a few weeks ago, and it's a family fun day. And I tell you, when I spoke to Father Trooper today, he says there are numerous more hospitals are joining on. So this is May the 16th, 2026, starting at 11 to 4 p.m. in the Tamarack Recreation Center. Free health screening, cholesterol, blood sugar, blood pressure, balance strength screening, medication management. So basically, if you have your medication and really don't know to take your medication, you should try to make it an effort to get out there and get the information that you need, because it is vital important. And I always say, if you have an issue and we're not tooting and have everything up and up, and you don't have no health insurance, that is a grand opportunity and this day to get some information about your health. Remember, when you have health, you have wealth. If you don't have health, you will never have wealth. So I'm going to tell you that's coming up at 6:30. But now we're just going to hear. And if you have a concern about your Jamaican passport, you're looking for your Jamaican driver's license, you're looking to renew your U.S. passport, your British passport, you can get it done right there at Alaran Moore Document Service at the same telephone number, 954-797-9783. That's 954-797-9783. You have a birth certificate, you need a TRN done in Jamaica, your birth certificate have some incorrect, need to be corrected, you can get it started right there. 954-797-9783. And I must tell you, you will not be disappointed, because I know a lot of people, especially one particular client which is Mrs. White down there in Miami, and I know she recently lost her husband. I met Mrs. White, met with her last week, and she said to me she journeyed from downtown Miami approximately to Lauderhill to get her her passport renewed, her U.S. passport, and she was very pleased with the service that she received there. But I want to talk about a particular issue today. Today I went to my nephew's school. He was actually recognized as a A-rated student, and he made the principal honor roll. And of course, he went to Cypress Elementary right there in Pompano. And while I was there, I was reflecting back on myself when I was actually in his grade, his age, back in school in Jamaica at Alpha Primary. But I remember going to school, my mother, our father, didn't really spend a lot of time coming to the parent-teachers meeting in school. But while we were at that event today, and I look around the entire room, I must tell you, we as black fathers were missing. The majority of fathers there were actually Hispanic fathers, wife and husband, fathers and mother Hispanic. And the majority of for the blacks, the mothers were there only. It was majority female, hardly any black fathers in the building. And I am saying, we must do better. We cannot continue to operate in such a spectrum where we are not out there supporting our kids. And I mean, there were students, and I tell you, these students were well dressed, well behaved, and you must applaud them. And one of the things, it was so amazing what I saw. There was a particular class that these students were in the ESOL because the English was never their first language. And they were actually rewarded because they were able to step up their game to learn the English language. And I must tell you, for the principal at Cypress Elementary, for the teachers from all different levels, they did a great job. I was told when my nephew started there, the school was a C school, and today it's now an A-rated school. So the principal, the teachers, the guidance counselor, the faculty, the staff, big up to you guys. You guys have done well, and I will tell you, we're just looking forward for the stars that are coming out of this particular school, and we will continue to get them moving for the betterment of the society. And I will tell you, and on the phone line we have Miss Coral Hilton from the Smallest Voice Foundation. And I will tell you, when we talk about a mama, we're talking about our mothers, we're talking about our wives, we're talking about our grandmother, we're talking about the women of yesterday, the women of today that make us who we are. So we have to love our women, we must love our mother, and every woman play a vital role in the society. And here it is on the phone line, we have a woman by the name of Miss Coral Hilton. She's a registered nurse with a BS, and of course, she's the president of the Smiley's Voice Foundation. And Mrs. Hilton, welcome to WAVS one more time.
Thank you, Garfield. Thank you for having me.
Definitely. A few weeks ago, you were here in the studio live with
Yes.
with your husband, Mr. Hilton, and you guys
Right.
again is on the 12th here for the annual Stroke Awareness and Prevention Health Fair. And again,
Yes.
let us know what new has been added, because when I had a conversation with Father Trooper today, he says, Garfield, lot more is in stock for this event, this 12th annual event. It's all yours. Please
Yes.
let us know.
Yes, I can tell you, and I want to start off by thanking Commissioner Maury Wright, who we're partnering with this year. This is our third year in a row that we'll be at the Tamarack Recreation Center for our 12th annual Stroke Awareness and Prevention Health Fair. And it's also a family fun day. It's going to be Saturday, May 16th, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Tamarack Recreation Center, 7501 North University Drive. So for this year, for the first time, a Cleveland Clinic will be coming out, and also the HCA Woodmont Hospital. They will be providing a wealth of resources to the attendees. We will have free health screenings, blood pressure, cholesterol, blood sugar, balance and strength screening, also Alzheimer's screening. There'll be so much information there for the attendees. And one of the things that I really am proud of is that the Area Agency on Aging will also be there for the first time. And that agency, Garfield, provides a lot of resources to our seniors in the community
And
and a lot of information.
and let us take a moment and take a break right there when we talk about the
Yes,
aging community. I mean, I am 54 years old, and when I was 18, I did not understand what going to happen to me at age 54. So let us talk about someone who are in their 70s. Talk about someone my age, and we have a senior parent, and our parents are not remembering things as they used to be. So is this a grand opportunity? You mentioned the Cleveland Clinic, and we know what the studies have done at Cleveland Clinic, one of the
yes,
well-renowned hospital in the United States. When you talk about the
absolutely.
Cleveland Clinic, you talk about serious medical research goes on at the Cleveland Clinic. And
Absolutely.
so tell us about that, because Alzheimer dementia kicks on quite early. So not because we are in our
Alzheimer's,
40s.
dementia, absolutely it can, absolutely. So, what is the ERA Agency on Aging has a specific program. It's called in-home respite for caregivers who are caring for their loved one who may have Alzheimer's. So, what that program does is allow an aide to come into the home for several hours for the week, up to 20 hours, depending on the need, and that will relieve the primary caregiver of the stress of taking care of someone with Alzheimer's. So that's a valuable service that a lot of our seniors are not aware of. They have information about daycare centers. They have information about meal delivery, meals on wheels, food assistance. There's so much information that our people are not able to access only because they do not know.
And
They
that's
have
another
legal services.
And that's another
Hmm.
valid point, because in every city in Broward County, in most of these cities, especially in the north, you have adult daycare, and a lot of us are not utilizing these services. Our
Exactly.
parents are
Ex-
home, our uncles are home, and they are getting up in age. We need to get them out of the house to put them in these
Absolutely.
places so they can now rejuvenate their minds.
Exactly. But if they don't know Garfield, they don't know how to access the system. So this resource, Area Agency on Aging, major. That's going to be sharing all the programs that they have. Transportation as well. Assistance to take them to the doctor, food assistance, Medicaid information, how to qualify, what benefits, what services they can get. So much information that it would behoove the your listeners to really encourage their family, their friends to come out for this event, this health fair. It's about health and wellness, improving the health and wellness in our community. We also have, which, this is another topic that sometimes our community is sort of afraid of. We'll have Dr. Tracy Romanella, who is the medical director for Catholic Hospice and Palliative Care Services. I know sometimes we're afraid, oh my God, my loved one goes on hospice, they're going to die. Absolutely not. That is not the case. But hospice and palliative services provides a major resource to patients who are, our loved ones who truly are at the end of life. And you may not have the means to pay for an aide to come in 4 days a week, 5 days a week. You'll have oversight by a nurse. This is a program that she is going to be there, Dr. Tracy Romanella, to really tell the attendees the benefits. No need to be afraid. Nobody's going to die before their time. But that's a valuable service that is of no cost to our people, but they need to know more about it.
And
And so that their fears can be, allay their anxieties. Dr. Tracy Romanella will be there to explain the benefits of that very important program. We also have a physician panel, and these physicians will be there. Dr. Clinton Jones, who's the medical director of St. John's Nursing Center, Dr. Francis Salazar will be there as well, Dr. Barbara Barrett, who is a mental health specialist, PhD, DNP. She will be speaking to mental illness, what we can do for our loved ones who have a mental illness. And also, when a person has a stroke, it does impact on their mental health. So she'll be talking about those things. What can we do to help? So when our doctors take time out of their very busy schedule to donate their time and their services to come out to Smiley's Voice Health Fair, it is a blessing to us and it's a blessing to the community.
Definitely.
Because the valuable information that they're going to share, people will have access to physicians that they can ask them about their disease process. What's going on with this? What do I do for this? Because, a lot of us don't have
insurance,
medical insurance anymore. It's an opportunity to get free health screenings, speak to the physician, get some insight. And another thing, too, sometimes, Garfield, our loved one goes to the doctor. They spend 10 minutes in the office. They come back home. They have no clue what they were told. They don't know what they were told about their medications, what they should do going forward. This is an opportunity to have doctors take a look at their meds, give them some information, and give them some insight about their disease process, the diabetes,
definitely,
the cholesterol, the high blood pressure.
Most definitely, because Mrs. Hilton, myself who is an insurance agent, when I speak to my clients and I tell them that this is what's going on with you when the insurance company look in the medical insurance bureau, these are people are saying, Garfield, I don't know this. My doctor never informed me of this. And I always tell people, the doctor, you may be diabetic. Your A1C may be in the sevens, but the doctor is telling you you're okay. Work on it, Mrs. Johnson. Work on it, Mrs. Klein, Mr. Klein. But what they put in your medical report is sometimes is alarming, and they don't want to alarm you, and they don't share it. Not that they're hiding it from you, but they just simply don't want to alarm you. I mean, this is a grand opportunity. For the next minute or so, Mrs. Hilton, please talk about the Sickle Cell Foundation, the nutrition workshop, and the healthy eating.
Okay. And you know what? I just have to say this, and I thank you so much for coming out that day as well, because a lot of our people are not aware of, they don't understand the benefits of having life insurance.
Correct.
So that's another valuable resource that you'll be providing to our attendees. Now, yes, the Sickle Cell Foundation, we have been supporting them throughout the years. As you know, sickle cell is one of the risk factors of a person having a stroke. So we do a scholarship for them every year as well, for a person who has sickle cell disease, who's going to college, and we support their education. They don't have to be nurses. We do support the nurses as well with a $1,000 scholarship every November. But we do this additional scholarship for the Sickle Cell Foundation because sickle cell is a major risk factor that contributes to stroke in our community. Nutrition counseling, they will be there. Cleveland Clinic, that's going to be their major focus as well on the nutritional aspects of our attendees, what we should be eating, what we should not be eating, how does what we eat feed into our disease processes over time. So very important information. The resources are tremendous that's going to be out there, and we'll be get free food, free giveaways, free raffles. Well, raffles at 65-inch television, but you know what? Keyword is free for the community, not just the moms. It's for the moms, it's for the dads, it's for the children. So it's a community affair, and we're targeting the entire family. There's something there for everyone.
Most definitely. Something there for everyone. It's the Smiley's Voice Foundation. You just heard from Miss Carol Hilton. And of course, she's a nurse herself, a registered nurse, years in the healthcare industry. And if anyone know her husband, Mr. Michael Hilton, known as Father Trooper, easily known as Father Trooper, this is a gentleman who's always champion anything says charity. He never refuses.
Yes.
And here it is, folks. Here it is. If you don't have health insurance and you need to get some screening, you need to get some counseling, you need to be prepared for the future, come on out to the Smiley's Voice Foundation, the 12th annual Stroke Awareness and Prevention Health Fair, and that will be taking place May the 16th, 2026, May the 16th, just a few weeks from today, starting from 11 to
Correct.
4 p.m. at the Tamarack Recreation Center. Mrs. Hilton, I appreciate, and I
Yes.
will tell you, if you have more information leading up to this event, please don't hesitate to call me.
Thank you.
I'm here on Tuesdays between 5 and 6, and I am willing to put this information out without a penny because it is vital
Okay.
information for the community.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And we look forward to having Dr. Ajiboye from the Neuroscience Institute at Memorial. He'll be doing the stroke prevention and treatment education. He's an amazing neurointerventional surgeon, and he's been supporting us throughout the year. So we're very thankful to have him there. So please, I'm encouraging everybody to come out Saturday, May 16th, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. WAVS will be out there live. So there's something for the entire family.
Thank you, Mrs. Hilton. Looking forward to seeing you shortly. And you can tell you, when you talk about in Broward County, you heard from Mrs. Davenport last week that in Broward County alone, there are over thousands of spaces available for dental assistance. So you know what to do. You know what to do. Get in school. School starts soon. And as she tell you, class is filling up. So please come out and enjoy. Let's go.